Hello, friends. I'm Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and welcome to my craft corner. Y'all, I'm excited you're here with me tonight. I hope you have been having a fabulous week. It is snowy here. It is super, super snowy. It's been snowing all day. I think it's just supposed to keep on snowing. So it's a good day, and this is the perfect day for the card that I'm going to share with you tonight, too. So if you are here and watching me live, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know that you are here and watching live. Let me know where you're watching from tonight and how your week's going and all that good stuff. If you're watching the replay, welcome to you as well. I am so glad that you are here. And go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know that you watched the replay. I love to know that too. Hello, Jamie in Grand Haven. I bet you got some snow over there. Piles and piles of it, probably. So I'm going to start tonight by showing you guys some cards that I got during swaps last week at Onstage, which is a big conference for Stampin' Up, a whole bunch of demonstrators. The one I went to, we had like 900 demonstrators in the room, which was just amazing, so much fun. So just really fun to hang out with people, and we got new stuff, and we got all that stuff. But one of the things we do, you have 4 inches. I don't know that we have more than that. We got a bunch though. I mean, it's like this on our deck. One of the things that we like to do when we get together at conferences like this is to swap cards, which means I made a bunch of cards and then I shared them and gave them to others and they exchanged with me, right? So this is a great way to share with you. Now, what I love about a lot of these cards is that they are using items from the annual catalog, which are on sale right now through tomorrow. You guys do not want to miss this, right? So like 20% off dies and embossing folders and the non-specialty pattern paper, everything in the annual catalog only though, right? Not the mini catalog. And then 15% off all the stamps in the annual catalog and 10% off the punches. It's a great sale, a great time to stock up. Or grab those things that you've been wanting to get, but you needed to save a couple of dollars. Now's the time to get them. So let me share. I'm going to flip my cameras and I'm going to share these cards with you. So look at this, Jamie Priest, right on top. The cat's out of the bag. This is the beautiful card that I got from Jamie Priest in Grand Haven. And this is using the Wildflower Path stamp set. So isn't that pretty? Stamp sets on sale. Only through tomorrow though. And then I have one using the there is not a sale on ink pads, Sue. I am so, that's kind of a bummer. Not ink pads right now, just stamps, dies, punches, embossing folders, and pattern paper. So all right, this is Nothing Better Than stamp set, I think is what it's called. Isn't that cute with the chocolates on it? This is from Cassie Miller. So Cassie Miller, isn't that pretty? And then there is the Happy Forest Friends. I'm really bad at the names of the stamp sets, but isn't that cute? He's adorable. I'm pretty sure this is a fun fold. It's a little fun fold. And this is from Lou Inman. So, and this one, I think this is the Deco rectangles, I think. And if it's the Deco rectangle dies, they're on sale. Hello, Kimberly. This was created by Manda Dorley. And then, of course, the Celebrate Sunflowers, which is gorgeous. I always love that one. The dies and the stamps are on sale. This is from Kimberly Dent. Oh, so pretty. And then one, I don't know what stamp set this is. Pretty sure it's in the annual catalog, though. And this was made by Vanessa Vanderhyde. Isn't that pretty? I love that Hive 3D embossing folder. So grab that when it's on sale. Again, I don't know the name, but this is a big background stamp that then they've used some blending brushes, I think, to add in some extra color. Oh, it's so pretty. I love that. Oh, it's the Tropical Hideaway and Cottage Rose stamps. Tell me right on there. On sale. And this is from Mary Ann Myers Zitlow. So this I thought was really fun. This is using the watercolor shapes, I think. Hello, Laura from Muskegon. Oh, the first time you're here. I'm so glad you're here. So this is the, I think the watercolor shapes, and this was made by Diane Moore Barber. And I just think that's really cool. I'm going to try something like that. And then the Sending stamp set in dies, which is so cute. This was from Jill Cooper. And the Flowering Tulips. This one I think is from Jackie. Yep, this is from Jackie Bullheis. And these were some I made at a shoebox swap. So it was kind of like a card buffet, if you want. And basically all the supplies were put out and we got together with other people on my team and we made cards. And this one's, I don't remember, this is the contour one. I don't remember the name of it. It's on sale though. Isn't that pretty? And then this one, I know, this one Jamie designed. This is the, what is it called? All That. He's All That. He's the man. I don't know. It's a very cool masculine set. And the die, this is actually the tag dies, the TaylorMade tags dies. They're on sale. And the stamps are on sale and the paper's on sale. So this one's really cute too. And I don't know who designed all that. He's All That. Thank you, Jamie. She would know. I'm really bad at names. I don't remember who designed all these because they don't have names on them, but I love this one with the little fishes on it. I'm really tempted to get this one. It's on sale and I don't have it, and I think it's so cute. Yeah. And then the cranes with, again, those decal rectangles. I think I just ordered the decal rectangles, the Heron Habitat stamp set. So super cute. And then the teacups. I'm almost to the end of my stack, and then we're going to do some fun ink blending. So, and I think that's so adorable with those teacups. This was by Tanya Bowers. And then cherries, a little birthday card with the cherries. Those are in the annual catalog and on sale. This was by Cindy Cherry, I think. Now these are in the Manning catalog, so they're not on sale, but they are going to carry over after this fall. So that's really exciting, and I think that's just so cute how they did that with the tree stump thing. I don't know what it's called. And then a Christmas card. And I don't think this one is on sale either. I think this is in the mini catalog, but these dies are, and this embossing folder is. So lots of great stuff. Had so much fun. Love making cards like that. So, all right, let me set those aside and let's get to some Stampin' already, right? That's what you guys came for, maybe. All right. I'm just going to pull out a piece of basic white. You guys, I keep a little basket like this. This just has pieces of basic white that are 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Hi, Jude. So they're basically for the insides of my cards, but sometimes if I'm just making a card front and I want it white and about that size, I just grab out of my basket too. So, all right, so here we go. Now, I will let you know. So I made the sample card ahead of time. I wasn't exactly happy with the colors that I used, so I'm changing one of the colors, but I don't know if they're going to look any better. So this is going to be kind of like an experiment tonight. So I think what I'm using is Fresh Freesia, Tahitian Tide, and Night of Navy. So I'm going to start in the middle with the Tahitian Tide, which is this gorgeous turquoisey color that I have not been using enough of. And then of course I have a blending brush. Oh, here, we're going to make this screen bigger so you guys can see better. There we go. I was like, why can't you see anything? Well, yeah, you don't need to see me that big. All right, so I'm going to take my blending brush. This is my blue blending brush. I do wash these occasionally, but I kind of keep them in the same color, and that way I don't wash them every time. I'm just going to rub that in my ink pad. And then I have an extra block right here. Let's get that in the screen a little bit better. And I'm just going to tap that right on there. And then I want this in the middle. So I'm going to just start. And I start with kind of a light pressure, and then I start kind of giving it a little bit more. So I'm just going to start with some light pressure and just start adding in some of that Tahitian Tide. And I'm just running this in circles mostly. And hopefully you can't hear my table squeaking too much because it's very squeaky. All right, I'm going to ink that up some more. I'm going to start off the side with kind of a light pressure and then start adding more pressure. All right, let's do just a little bit more. We're going to come back to this too in just a minute. Hello, Karen. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. It's hard. I get distracted by your comments sometimes. So, all right. So I just started with a layer of Tahitian Tide right in the center. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Tahitian Tide away. And I'm gonna pull out this Night of Navy. Now this is the color I haven't used, so I'm hoping it works. We'll see. All right, I'm gonna use, I have a brush that's kind of a brown brush. I decided I'm gonna use this for the Night of Navy because the Night of Navy is really dark. So I'm just gonna ink it up a little bit, tap it off, take a deep breath because I'm a little scared. We'll start adding this in. We'll see how this goes. So again, just starting with kind of a light hand and getting heavier. And I'm just going to run that right up into the Tahitian Tide. And I kind of push those two together. And the Night of Navy is a pretty dark color, so I'm going to go ahead and add more down here at the bottom, get it a little bit darker if I can. I haven't really blended with this, so I don't exactly know what it's going to do. Now I tap that ink off on my clear block. So when I want to get just a little bit more ink, I will pick that up off the block. So we're just going to kind of swirl that into the Tahitian Tide a little bit. There we go. Oh, that's looking kind of pretty. Let's hope this works. Okay, I'm going to put my Night of Navy away, and I am going to pull out the Fresh Freesia. Fresh Freesia, which is a color I didn't think I was really going to like. Ooh, putting my finger in the Fresh Freesia. But I've actually been really happy with it. So, all right, I'm going to ink this up, tap it up. I just flipped over my block, so I got kind of, because I was running out of a surface there, so I just flipped it over. Now this Fresh Freesia is a pretty light color. I'm going to start up here at the top, and I'll probably have to re-ink this a few times just because it is pretty light. And I think my Fresh Freesia ink pad might not be as juicy as some of my other ink pads. So my sister once said to me, she said, when I use my blending brushes, I don't have extra ink to tap off. If that is you, it might be because your ink pads are not juicy enough. You might want to get some re-inkers if that's you. That's what I told her. All right. So just adding some of this Fresh Freesia to the top here. See if I can pick up a little bit more. This does take just a little bit of time just to get this all in here. Looking kind of pretty. I'm going to come back with the Tahitian Tide now. And let's add a little bit more Tahitian Tide. This was the other reason I used that brown blending brush for the Night of Navy, because I wanted to be able to come back to my Tahitian Tide and add some more of that in. So this is just going to brush some more of that Tahitian Tide down into the Night of Navy, and I'm going to brush a little bit more up into the Fresh Freesia. And just kind of mixing those colors a little bit. What do you guys think? Do you like those colors together? All right, I'm going to go ahead. I think you're liking the color combo, Kimberly. Oh, I'm so glad. All right, I kind of want to go back with a little bit more Fresh Freesia there. See if I can get just a little bit more pinkiness to it. So, and then I'm going to move on because I don't want to do this forever. It's not much fun to sit there and watch somebody brush cardstock over and over again. But the Fresh Freesia is really light, so. All right. Oh, I love the way that the Tahitian Tide and Fresh Freesia make a really pretty purpley color. So much fun. Hopefully it looks wintry. Now what I'm going to do, I've just been using the classic Stampin' pads. So those are dye-based ink. which means, or dye ink pads, which means they are water-based. So I am just going to flick these with a little water. I'm using one of the old watercolor brushes because that happens to be what is on my table right now. And I'm just going to push a little bit of water. I'm going to grab a block. I'm going to push some water in there because I want it to be pretty wet. And I'm just going to take this and flick that wet brush on it. And if you go slower and closer, you get bigger drops. So I just added some water droplets to that. And that's going to do exactly what, water droplets do, right? It's going to give it kind of a watermarked look. Let me hold that up a little bit for you so you can see. Isn't that fun? Just adding some texture to the background. And now I'm going to go ahead. I am going to grab my white re-inker. Okay, this comes, when you buy the white ink pad, it comes uninked and it comes with a re-inker. And I'm just going to put some of this right there on my block. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to add a little more water to this. Now I'm not going to use my water brush, my water painter for this because I don't want to get that in my water painter. So I just have a cheap watercolor brush. I'm just going to mix that up with a little bit of water, get it nice and runny. Now you could use your finger, but I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to grab, here we go. I'm just grabbing a scrap of basic white to use like you might use your finger to flick this onto my card front. So this way you get the water droplets that kind of lighten it, and then you get some really vibrant white drops on there too. Let's see if we can get some big ones. So there we go. What do you think? So far, so good. Kind of a fun background. Now this does take a little bit. It is going to have to dry just a little bit, but we're just going to let it sit here for a minute while I work on a couple other things. So I have one of the rectangle dies, the stitched rectangle dies. These, of course, they're on sale. 20% off, which is amazing. This is a great time to get some of those dies. This is what I got. Some of those dies that don't have a coordinating stamp set that you're like, I kind of want those, but I don't know, you just haven't gotten them. This is a great time to snag them. You love the splatter, Jamie? Thank you. So I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. And we'll pull this out. Come here. So there's my little stitched rectangle. And I have, let's see if these have a name on them so I know what they're called. These are the wonderful snowflakes. And they're like die cuts, right? So they're like laser cut. They come this way and you just punch them out and they're out of this like iridescent paper. Can you see that iridescent shine to it? So you just got to kind of gently pop them out. They're just attached at the very ends. So there we go. And then what is really nice is the center is the perfect size to fit a dimensional. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a dimensional in there if I can get it just right. And this I am going to put on this rectangle, just like that. Oh, I'm getting bad. You guys, I am so sorry. I am freezing. I hope you guys can see. All right. Let me see. All right. Can you hear me? You hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I have a frozen screen. I think that it is my phone, so I'm going to try to fix it. All right. Hey, look at that. You can hear me. Well, that's good. Let's hope I get my screen fixed here. Hello. It came back and then it stopped. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Oh, I tell ya, my phone is very, very frustrating. Here we go. All right, there we go. We're coming back. We're coming back. All right. Yay! I'm going to switch around my microphones again. All right. Hopefully you can still hear me now. I switched my microphones back. So I have one of those wonderful snowflakes on that Tahitian tide. If I accidentally call this tempting turquoise, that's a color we used to have, and it looks just like it almost. So I feel like I do that all the time. All right. I have a little piece of Night of Navy, which, I'm excited for what this is going to look like. And then I am using the Joyful Flurry stamp set. Yep, we're going to make some snowflakes because it's a snowy day. And I have the sentiment that says, sending you all the best this new year. So if you have not yet started your Christmas cards and you want to send holiday greetings to somebody, here you go. This is perfect. This is perfect because you won't have to put it in the mail until the new year. So I'm just taking my embossing buddy and rubbing this on here, trying to get rid of some of the extra static. And then I'm going to take this and ink this up with some Versamark ink and stamp that right on my Night of Navy. I'm going to cover my Versamark ink up because I don't want to get embossing powder in it. And somewhere over here, I have a scrap piece of paper. So we'll put down the scrap, move some stuff off. And I'm going to take my white embossing powder. We're going to emboss this with white. So I'm just going to dump that on there and tap it off. I think I'm going to add a little more. Sometimes when it's really fine like this, these are some very fine letters, adding a second, tapping it off and then adding some more, just a little bit more sticks. And it just sometimes gives you a little bit bolder, fuller image. So, all right, now if I can find my heat tool fell on the ground. How rude. Woo! I'm going to heat my embossing powder. You didn't think things were going to go like perfect tonight, right? Nothing can ever go perfectly. So I'm just going to heat this until it melts and turns a shiny white. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. And then I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to use my paper snips. And I'm just going to trim around this. Now, when I am cutting, I don't cut like right up next to it. I leave a little bit. And just quickly trim around this. It's pretty simple. Now, if you have trouble fussy cutting like this, your sentiments, but you like the look of the fussy cut sentiments, there is a whole stamp set in the annual catalog that's on sale. And it has dies. And it will cut them out like as if they were fussy cut. So that's pretty cool. But I think it's pretty easy just to trim these out. So that's what I did. There we go. There's our little sentiment. Now let's start putting this together. I want to do a little bit more. I'm going to bring my background back in now. You can see it's kind of started to dry here. And I actually want to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of the snowflakes from the stamp set, and I'm going to use my white ink pad. I'm going to ink this up, and we're going to add some snowflakes to this. go. And let's add another size. What do you guys think? Oh my goodness. I like almost don't want to cover this up. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, let's add some little ones. And I'm going to leave some blank space too. So, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. What do you think? Is it just me? Am I just a little too enamored with my own work? Maybe. Could be. Now I have the little stamp that says, oh, Kimberly, good, you like it. Kimberly, I have the little stamp that says, let it snow. I'm going to come back in with my Tahitian Tide. I want to do this in Tahitian Tide. You know what? I'm going to do this in Night of Navy. Let's see what it looks like. I'm going to show you my other sample that I originally made at the end. And you guys can tell me which color scheme you think you like better. So, and I'm just going to stamp in here some little Let It Snows. And some down here. These probably won't even barely show up. But that's okay. Do it that way. Let's do one down there. All right. So just like that, just adding a little bit of something in the background. Whew. All right, now I have another one of the stitched rectangle dies. And I'm going to cut this. I'm going to just drop things on the floor. Let me pick them up because I'm going to need them. And now I'm rolling over them with my chair. Y'all, this is like the story of my life. Dropping things on the floor and rolling over them with my chair. So I have another one of the stitched rectangle dies, and I'm going to cut this out. So here's my platform. I'll put this on here. And I'm just going to put this on here. So we're going to lose some of our design, but that's okay. It's okay. We're going to cover up some of the design too. That's going to be hard. All right, I'm going to roll that through. Hopefully it was mostly dry. Oh, it looks like it. A little bit came off on my, I'm going to have to clean my cutting plate because some of it came off on my cutting plate. Probably should have zapped it with my heat tool. Oh, wow. So there is my background. And I have a piece of Night of Navy. I'm going to adhere this to the Night of Navy. Hopefully it's about the right size. Oh, I did pretty good there. I kind of pre-measured it, which was hard. So I just have some multi-purpose glue that I will put on there. And then this is going to go on my Night of Navy. So this is not straight. Luckily with the multi-purpose glue, you have a little bit of wiggle room so I could straighten it up. You know what? I'm going to zap this with my heat tool just a little bit because it's coming off on my fingers. Just get that a little tiny zap. Now I have a piece of Tahitian Tide, and this is just 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, just your standard card base. I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. And then we're going to adhere this pretty panel that we made. I'm going to adhere that to the card front. I'll start to see what this card is going to look like. So this is going to go right in the middle of our card front. Now these rectangles, I think that they must have made them to fit European cards because they don't quite They don't quite make an even border, but that's okay. It's okay. All right, I'm just squishing that down. I just turned it over in case that ink's still a little bit wet. That way I'm getting less on my fingers. So now we're going to take this little panel and we're going to put this in here. So there we go. Just putting a little multi-purpose glue on there as well. Add this down here. And then you remember that sentiment we made? We're going to add the sentiment next. So this sentiment is going to come in right here. And I'm just going to put some mini dimensionals on one end of it. Because remember, I put that dimensional in the center of the snowflake. And so I need to put some dimensionals on one end. Ah, bonjour Valérie. Bienvenue. So I put the mini dimensionals on one end, and I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of multi-purpose glue on the other. Now, I don't know where this is going to stick on that snowflake, but it'll stick someplace. So we're just going to bring this in here and just add that, just like that. Nearly done. I just want to add a couple embellishments to this. So let me find them. I have the adhesive back stars, which to me, they look like snowflakes. I don't know. Maybe they're stars, but they kind of look like snowflakes. So I'm going to use them as snowflakes. Plus, they have that same iridescent look as this big snowflake. So I'm going to grab just a couple of these. I'm going to put one there. Let's put a little one up here too. Put a little one over there. And I'm going to put a big one like down here. And there we go. What do y'all think? There's our card. Now let me show you the card I originally made. And you guys can tell me which color scheme you like better. So this one was Night of Navy and Tahitian Tide and Fresh Freesia. The other one I used Coastal Cabana, Tahitian Tide, and Fresh Freesia. I think I like that Night of Navy on there. You guys let me know. Which one do you think? Which one do you guys think? I think I like the Night of Navy. And then I have another card to show you. This is actually the card that I started with because I used some new stamps on this. So I really wanted to try out this new hand-drawn dots stamp set. Oh, it's not really a set. It's a one big giant stamp. I wanted to try that out. And then if you like the Night of Navy, Jamie? Oh, yeah, Night of Navy. I think so too. It just pops more. And then if you saw me on Tuesday, I used the Beautifully Happy stamp set, and I wanted to do something else with it, right? So I made this card. Let me pull it out. I made this card. Ooh, and this is Gorgeous Grape, Fresh Freesia, and Coastal Cabana. So, oh, and it shimmers. You guys can't see it, but instead of spackling it, no, not spackling it. Speckling it. That's what I wanted to say. Instead of speckling it with the white, I speckled it with Wink of Stella. So it sparkles, and I add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the center of the flowers. Oh, if you guys could see it in person, it's got sparkle all over it. It's so pretty. So, all right, those are my cards for tonight. I hope you guys like them. This one here, same basic concept that I used on this one. So with that ink blending. Merci, Valérie. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I'm glad that you could be here. If you have any questions about anything, or if there is anything I can help you with, just give me a holler, because I am here to help you and help you figure out this card making stuff out. So I hope that you have a fabulous weekend. And if you have snow like I do, that you're enjoying it. And if you have any suggestions for me on how to get a snow day tomorrow, that would be fabulous. Otherwise, I will see y'all next week, Tuesday, for another fabulous fun folds on Tuesday night. Have a great weekend.